Eric, that win could not have come at a better time for the mental, and also just looking at that game, it looked like a great practical sacrifice of the exchange by Nepomniachtchi. But I got to give even more credit to Giri for reacting well to it, because that looked difficult to play.
Yeah, we liked that decision for Nepomniachtchi, and I was favoring his chances. I was like, and it only took 2 or 3 moves for Giri to flip that position around. Really good understanding, and that's a huge confidence builder because that was like a sharp position. That was Nepo putting the pressure on, like sacking the exchange, had all the space, and in a moment, 2, 3 moves, Giri activated the rook and showed really, really good handling, and all of a sudden, it's too early to say we have a close match, but that's a pretty like sorry, I gotta think about it. Is that the first win for Anish this match? Was it 3 draws? It was, right?
Yeah, it was, because it started with 2 draws to bring us to 1 point, and then one more draw after that, and that was the first win.
First win after, let's say, more than an hour. You can be in a dark place when you play an hour of chess and don't win a single game. So this couldn't have, as you say, come at a better time for Giri, and he's got white, has some confidence, has these slow positions that I'm in favor of. There's not a lot happening here. It's not that dangerous for black. White maybe has ideas in the future of playing rook e1, playing for either f3 and e4 to build the center, or the minority attack. You try to eventually play b4. Slow
I'm waiting for
position, but good
h5.
timing.
I'm waiting because Jan is also that kind of player. There it is, h5, h4. This is exactly how he. Well, first of all, I think it's how the position should be played, but it also suits him perfectly.
For sure. If white is demonstrating, I want to push on the queen side, black's response, your pieces are on the queen side, let's harass the king side, h5, maybe h4, or grab some squares there, because you don't want it to be a one-way street. Nepomniachtchi is an active defender. Not going to just sit back and allow Anish to play b4 and put pressure on b7. He wants to put pressure on the king side. And knight g4, installing that knight. That's why h4, h5, it's a trade of squares, but this knight on g4 is sitting pretty here. And the question is, how can black bring more pieces to facilitate a kingside initiative? Are you looking at g5? Is there a way to play f6, g5? I don't know about f5. That might lock things up. But double-edged, at some point, the position's looking to break open.
Yeah, this looks like a position that I think that Jan is pretty happy with overall. I'm wondering if he's going to trade the bishop for the knight and then move the queen and then try rook e6 to f6.
Exactly.
That's just a nice, simple plan, no risk, and there's a clear threat.
Rook e6, rook f6. I really like that. White's able to defend that, but you have to balance dealing with those threats and maintaining your queenside ambitions. Is knight
There's going to be a
going to
potential
be played?
sack here.
There is a potential sack, and the queen might jump into g4. Knight e3 in the cards. Sharp.
Very sharp. There's knight e3, there's knight f2, there's rook f6 first, and then a sacrifice. I know that something is going to drop in this position.
Yeah. Oof. c5. Planning to play d4 and break things open.
That's not the move you want to see, Eric. Even if it's not the strongest, that is a really tough move to answer.
The timing of it too, because already almost double the time of whites, and this is such an uncomfortable move. You just don't see it coming. You have to start calculating from scratch. I don't think Anish saw this idea of playing c5, d4. Sometimes you have queen c6 check. This diagonal can open. But fighting for the initiative is Nepomniachtchi here.
And that's the idea. d4, rook d3. It's the queen c6 check that really hurts to get the queen off the d file, and then pawn takes on e3.
You can block with the queen, but your structure gets ruined after d takes e3. Yes, black sacrificed the pawn, but winning the pawn back with the initiative.
And is there rook f6 after queen f3 as well?
Oh my goodness. What a spot I'm on. Rook f6 with the rook takes it.
And that's a natural move. Like, I could see it happening.
You think, on the board?
Yeah. Queen f3, rook f6.
That looks very, very dangerous. Certainly being calculated. Anish is taking too much time. He's down to 10 seconds here.
Okay, we see
Queen
queen
f3 is
f3.
played. We know Jan is looking at rook f6. He's that kind of
Yeah.
player. Because
The
if you
simple
don't
pawn
play
takes
it,
e3 is available as well, by the
it's
way.
available. Black is totally fine there.
Yeah.
With a minute 30 to 12 seconds, Black has two good options.
Sometimes annoying, right? When you have
Yeah,
two amazing options.
this position favorable for Black because White's king is weaker. That a pawn is far away from pushing. G3 is weak. The king is weak. The rooks are ready to join in on the e-file. Don't be surprised to see knight f5, knight g4, knight d5. One of these knight moves followed by the
Yep.
rook coming in on e2. And the problem is Giri's got 11 seconds and his king is about to be hunted.
What's he planning here? Some sort of knight e1 and rook e2 trick.
Rook e2 followed by rook takes d2. It's
Yeah.
time for the tactics. Now, knight f3 might be in time for Anish, but 5 seconds, anything can happen here.
Rook e2, rook d1, just trying to hold everything together. He's planning rook e2 now?
Where's the mate? You can check. I don't see. Where
You
is the
could,
mate? The king can tuck in on h1. 1.7 seconds for Giri, facing mating ideas.
even if you just get both of the rooks on the second rank as black, that has to be winning as well.
I'm just worried about this rook takes e1 idea. I
Mm-hmm.
guess you just take here, as you said. Okay.
Yeah.
Rook f to f2. And ooh, Anish is just pushing that pawn.
That looks like a
Check.
clever idea.
Well, Black has a draw if he wants.
Yeah, takes. And we're getting the same stuff where you bring that rook to a2. Something's going down here. There's no way you can survive this position.
Because Black will pick up the pawn at some moment. You can't play rook e7 because of the back rank.
Mm-hmm. Very
And
important.
the issue here is Black's up a pawn and looking to win the c5 pawn by force. You see this here? Now you get rook c2. Not in time
Yeah.
to defend. That's the second pawn for Jan. And this is tough. The good
Yeah,
thing is there's
still.
only one pass pawn for Black because the other pawns are fixed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think, do you just push it all the way here? Pawn to c2, and then just kind of abandon your pawns on the other side of the board. That's what he's going to do. And there's always this trick, pawn to f4, which is really nasty after king takes g6.
Oh, that is such a nice find. Take
You
here,
just can't
pawn
take the
f4.
pawn. Yeah,
I'm